Hello, welcome to Nate Netflix. I am Nate. You are you, and I just came across a really interesting tidbit on the old rumor mill. I was on Reddit, and I saw that Stealth, who has been a reliable source for Halloween-related leaks in the past, actually came out with a bunch of information that turned out to be true about Halloween Kills. Just put out some information that is huge. Big if true. So much so that I'm going to say that I don't know that I'm buying in completely, but there's enough here that it seems like there might be a little smoke, which means there might be a little fire. So if you do not want Halloween Ends possibly spoiled for you, then you need to go ahead and skedaddle right now. All right, 3, 2, 1, show yourself to the door. If you're still here, it's not my fault, it is yours. So basically, Stealth has come out and said that they have multiple sources, which, okay, already, let's go ahead and take it in. Let's be a little bit dubious here. Multiple sources who we cannot name. All right, so, you got that to go off of, but multiple sources who cannot be named, who are saying that Halloween Ends will open up immediately after Halloween Kills. Michael Myers is going to be chased to that radio tower that we've all talked about so much. We've discussed how it's going to play into this movie. We saw it at the beginning of Halloween Kills. We've all seen big things coming with this radio tower, but Michael is going to be chased to the radio tower. He's going to kill the operator of said radio tower, and then Michael Myers, in the opening of Halloween Ends, is going to be killed. That is right. Halloween Ends. Halloween, Michael Myers, he's going to end at the beginning. As soon as the movie starts, he's going to die, and the rest of the movie would then just be Haddonfielders reacting to hearing Michael Myers' death, hearing the shooting over the radio broadcast from that tower. They're going to have to deal with the wake of the boogeyman and everything he's done to them, and we would then have a jump 4 years into the future, and we would have a Laurie Strode who's had her glow up and looks like she has her life back on the tracks. How are you feeling about this? If this were to be true, doesn't that just make you want to shake your head, pull your hair out, and go, but why? Why would you go that route? Who wants that? It almost really would be like they are just getting out all the Michael Myers goodness out of their system with Halloween Kills. They're like, we're going to give you all the gory, nasty, slasherific kills that we can, because you're not going to get any old Michael Myers whatsoever in Halloween Ends. It's extremely puzzling if this turns out to be true. Now, he also goes on to say that we will see Michael Myers via flashbacks and visions, which I think we've heard a lot about these visions, just like the radio tower. That's something that's been heavily debated over the past several months. If we're only seeing him in flashbacks and visions, again, who is that going to satiate? Who is that going to satisfy? How can we come from a movie like Halloween Kills, which was admittedly a little bit vapid, a little bit empty, didn't have much substance to it. It was just about kills. How are you going to go from that, then all of a sudden take yourself so seriously that you think you're going to do this really contemplative, ponderous movie about overcoming trauma in the wake of devastation and healing as a community? And why do you think that this franchise's fan base is going to want to see that? What are we doing here, David Gordon Green? What are we doing, Blumhouse? This is how you want to go out? You've already been talking about how you're done with Halloween after this. This is your final bit of Halloween. This is how you're going to do it? This is your grand finale? I think you're overthinking things. If this is what we get, a lot of people are going to be pissed off, and it would lend so much credence to what Jamie Lee Curtis was telling us, that the movie was going to be divisive, and it was going to really piss some people off, and fans were going to be torn over it. Because if it goes down like this, that's definitely going to be the reception. Now, of course, it always comes down to execution, but that's a jump in the shark type of thing. Anytime you have one of your main characters only seen via flashbacks and visions, you have characters having like dream state scenes, it's not real then. It's not real to the story. And whatever happens in there, if there's a little bit of tension, there is suspense, if there is scare, it's all false and you know it. So therefore, there is no suspense. There is no tension because you're like, well, this isn't real. Michael just died 15 minutes ago in the runtime. So what do you think? Do you think that this is actually how it's going to play out? Like I said, this guy apparently has a proven track record with his leaks. He can't name his sources, so I said we can be dubious about that, but apparently his sources have been on the mark in the past with movies like Halloween Kills. So if he's right about this, and Halloween Ends starts up right where we left off at the end of Halloween Kills, Michael Myers is at that window, he just recently slayed that entire mob, and now the police are coming for him. He somehow gets flushed out of his childhood home, takes off for the radio tower, kills an operator. Great, cool, at least we get to see Michael kill someone. And then he ultimately dies. He gets killed basically by firing squad. And then for the rest of the runtime, we're just watching characters 4 years later. There's that time jump we've all been talking about. Deal with the aftermath of their feelings and Michael Myers and their town's legacy and where do we go from here? Is that what you want? Is that the coming of age story you want? I tend to believe it's not. And, like I said, it always comes down to execution. But if you ask me here today, I'm scared. I'm bummed out because I'm like, if that is true, if this sleuth, this person who breaks news, this dude who leaks movie tidbits is proven correct, I would have never in a million years expected that was the movie we were going to get. We've talked ad nauseum about what we could get, and at times it's gotten crazy, it's gotten ludicrous. I felt we were jumping the shark with trying to do too much homaging to the past and too much plot twists and things of that sort. If we do this, it feels like we'd be jumping the shark in a whole nother way by not doing enough and overthinking ourselves. Now, things that could point to this being incorrect. We know that the CinemaCon trailer showed Laurie and Michael having some sort of conflict. And that made sense, right? But then what if that was just a vision? What if that is Laurie trying to grapple with the fact that she never got to slay her boogeyman? This person that she's been crossing the stars with, her foil, the person that fate has put her up against for her entire life, that she didn't get to be the person to ultimately end him, that she feels like that was robbed of her, and so now she's just picturing how that would have went down. Is that going to satisfy you? I can't believe it will. What's going to happen with Allison? How is she going to deal with this? We've seen her looking a little bit edgy, a little bit more ruined. Is it just going to be about her and Laurie, and now Laurie has had her glow up and is doing well, and Allison's struggling, and they're just going to pull each other up out of it? And the Strode women will have a bit of family, a semblance of unity, something we never thought they would have? That's nice. Thematically rich, sure, but who is that appeasing? This is a horror slasher franchise. Who is coming to this franchise for that? And we've also done a video in the past about Jamie Lee Curtis and James Jude Courtney getting emotional on set when they filmed their final scene together. And in the moment, I thought that had to mean it happened in the final act of the movie. It happened in act number 3. It was the climax, and it was emotional, and it was paying off 40-something years of this franchise. And that if we went back to the original and continued Laurie Strode's story up to here, that it was just sentimental and meaningful. I told you guys that I thought it would end with Laurie killing Michael stabbing her, and her knowing that it was a mortal wound, that she was going to die. She is bleeding out, but at least she makes it through Halloween night. She gets to lay her eyes on the sun coming up on the morning of November 1st. Halloween has ended. Laurie Strode's mission has been accomplished, and we all go home happy. But doesn't sound like we will be getting that. Doesn't sound like Laurie Strode would be a part of Michael Myers' demise if things were to turn out in this fashion. So what do you guys think? Is this enough for you to be like, yeah, you know what? That's probably what's going to happen. This guy has a track record. He was dependable when it came to Halloween Kills. A lot of what he said was going to happen turned out to be valid. And he's saying this is coming from multiple sources. So you know what? I tend to believe that this is the movie we're going to get. And that scares me. Is that you? Is that how you feel? Are you scared? Are you excited? You're like, oh, this is a brand new direction for the franchise. This could be really cool. Nate, it always does come down to execution, in which I would say you're right. Sometimes ideas sound absolutely atrocious on paper, and then you get together with a nice creative team and you make things happen. You go, oh, you know what? That worked. I was skeptical. You proved me wrong. If this is how things go, then I'm going to need to be proved wrong, because this is not, I just can't. But thinking about being in 2018, watching Halloween 2018 in the theaters, and how much fun that was for me, that I had a field day. It's one of my favorite moments in the cinema. Think about what that was for me. Never in a million years did I think 4 years later that this is how things would be wrapping up if things do go this way. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments section. Let me know how this hits you. Are you spinning right now? Is your mind just going, what? Be sure to hit like, comment, and subscribe. All that YouTube, yada, 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 because we'll be talking a lot about Halloween in the future. And I got one more thing to ask you. Have yourself a great day. I'm Nate for Nightmare Flicks saying that's a wrap.